right, so Geek Week News is something we love to do each week where we try to tackle the 5 big stories that we found that we just really love. So we're going to kick it right off with my personal deity, Tim Burton. I love him. He's never done me wrong. I freaking...
You don't feel like his movies all kind of look alike?
Shut your mouth, you heretic!
Maybe as much as I love Danny Elfman, kind of sound alike.
Heretic.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy them. I just did a whole thing for Nightmare Before Christmas, but... So what has he got for us?
Anyways, so he's working on Big Eyes right now, which is about the artist who does things with big eyes, which I don't quite understand. But his next one is Mrs. Pettigrew's Home for Peculiar Children.
Which is a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, it's a young adult, but it's just really, really well done.
I think it's perfect for him, just the way I thought Big Fish was perfect for him. But I'm kind of
liked Big Fish.
I liked Big Fish. I read the book before the movie, and I said, "Wow, Tim Burton should make this movie." And then, hey, guess what? He made it.
I feel that way about Dune. I'm the only person that actually likes the movie, but I'd read the book several times first.
The one with Sting and no. We're just going to agree to disagree on this one. I like the other one, but
all right, so.
So Tim Burton announced, but I kind of like to see him go back to do more original stuff, like Edward Scissorhands.
I agree, actually.
I think he's doing a lot of adaptions, which.
Here's the thing with it. What he really needs to do, in my opinion, is actually break up his team. He needs to, I hate to say this, not have Johnny Depp and not have Helena Bonham Carter in something. Bring in some new blood, get a little bit of energy in there that's not something that's really familiar. I think that'll make him stop regurgitating the same material.
Well, I can't believe he picked Helena Bonham Carter over Lisa Marie anyway. She's like monkey ugly. I'm sorry.
Maybe she has an awesome personality, which, by the way, she seems to actually be a really
She got hit in the face with a frying pan, though. When you see Lisa Marie, she was hot.
Good to know that he's judging women entirely off of their appearance, and talent doesn't matter in the slightest. Good for you, Tim Burton, for marrying someone you get along with well, who does a really good job with her work.
I'm just like, she was Martian Spy Girl. You remember Martian Spy Girl? That was hot.
Anyway, moving along.
Anyway, so next up. Do y'all remember the video for the phone blocks where it was company said, let's make modular phones?
I've wanted modular computing of all sorts for a while. I feel like I was lied to by science fiction authors who are like, yeah, someday you're just going to have a case that you just put together because it's pretty. You'll just slam all of your different modules in there. I want that. I wanted an OXO, for Christ's sake. I want this stuff so bad.
Good news, Chris Rachel.
What?
Motorola is backing phone blocks and are now working on Project Aria, which is going to be the first modular phone system. So if you need a bigger battery,
do you think this is going to go the same way that the OQO went, though? Because OQO made a lot of really big promises. How much is Motorola going to charge for this?
I don't know, but Motorola is also owned by Google, so you know they're going to do it right. Don't make that face. I know you're not as big on Google, but what I'm excited for is this, I think, will become the standard Android phone, the way that iPhone is the only iPhone. There's no OS on anything else. I think what that'll do is it's going to up the standards for the Android phones, so we're not going to have like a bajillion ones, because I don't like having to get a new phone every year.
Part of my problem with Android is trying to figure out which phone to get when I walk in. I mean, the Apple iPhone is the phone of the lazy. You can just walk in like, I just want the new one. Just make it work.
Mac
Here,
zombies.
make all of the old things go on the new thing, and I'm good to go. Whereas with Android, I don't know. Every time I walk in and look at Android phones, no one is superior. There's always just a well, do I want a little more of the video, or do I want a little bit more of call quality? It's so much of a compromise.
Now you're going to have that choice. You're going to be able to totally custom make your phone.
And my phone will be this big because I put all the modules into it. It's still going to be like
this, but so I'm excited to see what's going to come of it.
All right.
Up next, they announced Trick or Treat 2. Now, Trick or Treat is one of my favorite movies of all time, especially for Halloween. Did you watch it? It's like a horror anthology
I don't even know why we're on the same show.
Because it's awesome. And they announced Trick or Treat 2 at a live stream of it, and I'm just all sorts of excited because I get to see more of that awesome director and that awesome thing that they're creating. And they want to do like Fantasia was supposed to do and make one every maybe other year or so and keep it going and just have lots of fun, because it really just blew me away. And if you don't like it, you're just go see the demons in the TV, because they haunted her as a child apparently.
He's never forgetting that.
Because how do you tell a child that you got demons in your TV so you can't watch the Smurfs?
I had a crazy grandmother.
So Trick or Treat, I'm super excited. We're going to see what comes of it. Hopefully it'll get a theatrical release and not be totally jacked around by Warner Brothers.
This will be a sci-fi movie classic.
Like Thanksgiving. Up next.
Yes.
Okay, Disney, we all know they're making a live-action Maleficent movie. It's about to call her whatever. So they're making a live-action...
You're just stuck on the live-action Muppets, aren't you?
A live-action Maleficent movie filming right now with Angelina Jolie. They just announced they're going to do a Cruella de Vil one. Now, I'm not really sure
they kind of already did that, didn't they?
Yeah, Glenn Close did a fantastic job in the live-action movie. But let's spin off a whole story about crazy lady who's obsessed with fur into his movie of its own. I don't see how it's going to work.
The problem with that especially is, like, Maleficent, I can see actually using the Once Upon a Time model to make her a good guy, because they're essentially making older Disney princesses out of this. But with Cruella de Vil, I don't want to see Cruella de Vil was tortured as a child, or well, they probably won't do torture because it's Disney.
I don't know
but
what it
maybe
is.
she was bullied as a kid, and that turned her into a bully that has to skin dogs as an adult.
I
That doesn't
just-
make sense.
The whole thing just
Maleficent
rubs
will
me
work,
wrong.
I think, because I think they're going to base her off of Regina on Once Upon a Time.
Which I think would be brilliant to do for her.
Yeah.
Great, because I love Once Upon a Time.
One thing we can agree on.
Finally! It's been a year now? All right, so last thing. I don't know if you guys managed to catch it, but this week the concept art for Transformers 4 got leaked for what the robots look like. And if you've watched the show on the Hub, you've pretty much seen how they're styling the new robots for a darker, grittier movie, making them look more animated.
I was going to say anime-tastic.
I don't quite get it. They pulled
Don't
it.
you really
I'm
need
hoping
robots
it's
to have
wrong.
giant eyes and spikes everywhere on them? Totally unnecessary spikes everywhere.
It was very sleek, very stylized, very curvy. It totally threw me for a loop. I was like, why are you going to go for a grittier version of Transformers, but keep it this like kiddie style? They still have the ghost flames and things like that. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, and they took it off really quick. I couldn't find it to show you guys, but I'm hoping
You
that
know,
it was
I think
a
it would
fake.
be adorable, though, if they decided to go with like some really brutal Transformers.
Adorable Transformers.
Adorable if it was a really brutal Transformers done in the most like Hasbro kids style
Like
ever.
a chibi style Megatron. Hey!
Except it like, hey, guess what? We're gonna go out there and slaughter the entire human population this week. Yay! Then we'll go to Equestria.
So, we've gone to My Little Pony territory. That means it's time to wrap up Geek Week News.